Sit back, relax a little bit. Let me tell you a story. See if yours is anything like mine. Remember when I was a kid? So much better when I popped the lid. Feel the rabble, open it up.
Exactly, listen to Seany. Right, and Cash Out's the easy way to get money transferred when you're out with friends. So, jump into that and then we'll get back to it.
He said, baby, jump in the back, boy. Tailgate crazy.
Jump in the back, y'all. We're going tailgate crazy this Sunday. It's been a wild, crazy Sunday. I'm your bus driver, Cedric Green. Welcome back, guys, for another episode of Shady Sports Fantasy Reports. As always, I got my co-pilots with me. Big dog Seany, big dog Justin over there.
Hell yeah.
Yep. We're back for another great, exciting episode. I think it's like episode 20-something, whatever, but it's week 7 review.
Episode a lot.
Episode a lot, season 3. We know that for sure. So, yeah,
24, 25, somewhere in there.
I think it's like 25 or something like that. Yeah.
We got started early for y'all.
Yep. And look at us now, rolling. Man, we ain't stopping for gas. We just cruising right now, cruising. So week 7, I mean, it was a day cruising. There was some big wins, and then there was a few losses too. I just saw Jaden Daniels went down. But yeah, we'll get to that. So, So, guys, welcome back with us as we do every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, or Sunday. Sorry. It's been a long day, bro. Sunday night tonight.
It's okay, you're sick.
Yeah, so we do, every Sunday.
These Sunday night shows can be long and emotional because of the game statuses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, there's always usually a big game going on. So we'll talk about that, man. We'll get into it tonight. We'll talk about, that Thursday night game. My Broncos establishing themselves as a threat in the West.
Just Bo Nixon, everybody.
We'll talk about the Lions, tying it up with the Vikings. We'll talk about what's going
Steelers
on
are
right
playing
now. Yeah, man. So is Russell Wilson lighting up? Well, that's the
question. Shiny will let us know. He's the expert analysis on our Steelers.
Exactly. So I mean, as far as it goes, guys, and then as we always do, drop your questions in the chat. You know what I mean? We'll still be getting prepared for week 8. The goal here is to help you with your fantasy team, but we're also talking NFL.
We can throw it here on in the show here or on Twitch. Also, drop your questions, comments, or anything, and we'll be more than happy to answer them as the show goes along.
Yeah. You can see our socials right there at the bottom, across the bottom. Hit us up here, Twitch, Sleeper app, Instagram. Oh, I gotta start the Instagram.
Sensei.
So we're on Instagram too. We try to be. We try to be a little bit everywhere, right? But so we'll get right into it. I mean. So the Thursday night game, we'll start with that since it was a win for my Broncos. It probably fantasy wise, I thought it was pretty. I
was disappointed in Kamara if you had Kamara in your leagues.
Yeah,
lots of disappointments on the New Orleans side of the ball. Lots of really, really good things happening on the Denver side of the ball.
Especially that defense, right? But Kamara will be over in Denver soon enough too, right? Especially if they only want a third. Man,
with Javonte off that hot 2-touchdown game, you're gonna do that to him?
Yeah.
Wow, respect.
I've seen this too many times, thankfully.
All right. So you are you believing that now that the Saints are sellers before the deadline?
Well, they have to be. They have injuries everywhere. Oh man,
Shady looks like he's going to be on IR.
Yeah, Shady is on IR.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Olave is questionable for next week. Derek Carr's out still for next week. Man. It is not looking good for New Orleans. So.
So I think you kind of gotta be if you want to try to compete, but if you don't want to compete, then you don't, right? Then you say.
I'm impressed with your Broncos though. They took advantage of a team that's reeling and hurting, and took care of business and stuck it to them.
Yeah, with Reed going down in the secondary. Shaheed being out for the season, no Carr. They had no Taysom Hill to come in and be their gadget guy that could bail them out while injuries are bothering them, And then not only that, on the other side of the football, you got a poised football team, that was coming off, a decent game, but still lost. And then, you know, they were looking to get that streak back. Javonte, I was super proud of. Held onto the ball, yards after catch, yards after contact. I mean, he was down. He was in his best form. I think probably his best game of the season, hands down.
Definitely, yeah.
Maybe
he had
second
2
best.
tutties.
Either way, you know, and not only that, I mean, the defense stepped up big time. Cody Barton was an absolute animal.
He was all over the field. He's probably a promising pickup. You think, Shawnee, for IDPs if you have any guys hurt?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely. He just sacks do not make a big IDP, but the fact of the matter is, he is on that ball no matter where it goes. He's not
that's
just,
what I saw.
You know, penetrating the quarterback hits. He's getting the majority of the tackles for that team. He's a vulture. He doesn't let him run. Obviously, you can tell by Kamara's numbers that Denver didn't let him get going on the run.
He had 10 yards.
They plugged up those holes and filled the gaps really well, and Kamara couldn't even bounce on the outside because those cornerbacks.
He's the guy that New Orleans needed to use in that game situation where they were hurt, for Rattler to be able to just dump it off, to be able to make a quick decision and just have Kamara there for him. But you know what? I feel like Denver's defense played so well, Kamara ended up blocking more for Rattler to let him make a play, more than he could actually, you know, get the ball and be utilized the way that he needs to be used, which is getting yards, scoring touchdowns. Denver just, you know, they took this game away from them early. They ran with it. There wasn't too much promise. You know, New Orleans has some pretty good DBs still. Still got Alontae Taylor back there and someone else. I forget his name, but definitely fantasy relevant guys. IDP, I started Taylor this week. He got me 29 points for a DB. That's not bad at all, considering format or however scoring goes. But just overall, if you just play the Broncos defense in general, they crushed it, you know? So fantasy-wise, excellent game on the Broncos side of the ball. Just NFL standpoint, you know, that's the way you want to watch the Denver Broncos play football every week.
That was one word to sum up that game for me on the Denver side was clinical. That was they executed the run game. They passed when they had to, got their first downs that they were more efficient at than they were last week against the Chargers. And they just kept them away. They never gave them a chance. They kept them out of arm's reach and ran away with that game. Literally, like I was impressed with Javonte. Estime, you know, did all right, but he's looking to upgrade at the running back room.
Well, no, not necessarily looking to upgrade, just more consistency at the running back room. I mean, props to Javonte. He did have those 2 touchdowns. He had 23 receiving yards too. So I mean, he showed up big. But I just need. I mean, I want to go for something, right? I want somebody who's going to be a leader on that offense.
What said? How do you feel about your guys' secondary, like Moss and Surtain?
Our secondary is.
They weren't really working.
Is trying to get a job. Vance Joseph is trying to get a head coaching job next
year.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like they didn't really necessarily had to shadow anybody. Like they were kind of just playing their like umbrella effect.
They were
and just
hitting. And that was playing against, you know, a Spencer Rattler too, who's still figuring it out. So
they didn't let anything over the top, and they just didn't seem challenged at all.
They needed this game. They needed this game. It wasn't like perfect.
Rattler had resting we suck face all game long.
And he was taking a beating too, you know. Those guys are getting after him and stuff. So I mean, the defense, I don't care, man. I'll put our defense up against anybody. I don't care. The way they're playing right now, I'll put them up against anybody in the league right now. Now, our offense, maybe not so much so. But if they can keep us in games and not have any turnovers, if he can play turnover-free football, let's go. Let's go, because we're going to have a chance to win these games, and that's what you need in the NFL. You just want it close. Just give me a chance.
Where does that put you guys in the standings after this week? Are you guys in second now? Or
the Chargers still playing, but I think they're playing – I think they're playing at who are the Chargers playing?
They're playing Arizona.
So it's an NFC AFC game.
Dobbins is going to run all over Arizona's defense. Dude. Watch.
I think we're still I think it's all still in the same position. I mean, I think it's kind of like it's not quite as extreme as the NFC North, because all you guys have winning records, right? So like all you guys are
all we do is win.
Yeah, you're first and second, the whole division up and down. So it's not obviously a lot like that. We don't have the record quite like that, but I mean, we're right there, man. We're right there. We have the defense playing where they need to play, and the offense is coming along. I promise. Like, and it sucks. Cortland Sutton didn't get any targets.
Goose egg.
Big
both
old
sides. Fat goose
he
egg.
didn't even get any targets. So like that sucks. But I mean, it's good to see these young guys, man. Vele does nothing but make plays. Like, I'm sorry, I'll take it. Especially when you score 33 points in the NFL. Give me that. Let's go.
So aside from your 6 touchdown prediction earlier in the week for Sutton, are you concerned they laid a big goose egg on Thursday night?
Kinda, because it just seems like
they don't need him.
It seems, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say they don't need him because obviously him being out there is opening it up for these other guys, right? But I feel like you're seeing, because Bo Nix, man, he had some crappy passes. There's a lot. There's one.
I don't think he threw a touchdown pass, did he?
No, he didn't throw a touchdown. No, he didn't run.
But he didn't turn the ball over, and that's important.
Yeah, but he overthrew a lot of people. He underthrew a lot of people. He had some weird throws, some off-platform throws, some off the front foot, off sideways.
He almost threw an easy pick to Mateo
that he dropped.
Yeah.
The way that you see Cortland Sutton utilized in this offense, the only way I've seen him get heavy utilization is when they're playing from behind, trying to catch up. You know, like fourth quarter ball, almost
when they have to be
time.
Super clean and precise.
Yeah, he usually racks up in the fourth, and he'll be that guy to score like trying to come back touchdown. But other than that, it's just like Sutton he hasn't been getting the targets.
Yeah,
and he's
because I feel like Sean Payton is slowly allowing Bo Nix to play freely, a little bit more freely, and with that, Bo Nix is going to revert back to what he knows, which is Troy Franklin. Yeah. That's his dog.
I'm starting to see him click a little bit watching that Thursday night game. That connection's starting to blossom.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And then you spread it too. Like Cortland Sutton's not like he's a good receiver, but he's not like Justin Jefferson. He's not
he
Jamar
draws
Chase.
The best coverage on the defense too. He always draws the best coverage. So, he probably, most of the time wasn't open. And Bo Nix playing smart football
quickly went away.
Wasn't going to toss up an interception or an incompletion when he could play smart and spread it around a little bit. And I don't know.
I feel like that's why there was a lot of those off-platform throws too, because you would see Cortland Sutton locked up a lot, Marvin Mims locked up a lot, and then he has to quickly go. He's thinking, I'm running, man, but he's also trying to look, you know what I mean? Trying to look to see who else is open, his other read. So I don't know. I think it's slowly coming along.
So going forward, are you guys looking into pieces in Denver's offense for fantasy? Are you kind of staying where you're at, not making moves for them, or where are you gauging it after this win against the Saints?
I'd pick up the defense. I'd pick up defensive IDP players. Like I have Cody Barton.
But you're not like trading for Javonte or.
I have Javonte in my dynasty, but like
I see a lot of people around my leagues with Javonte on the bench.
Yeah, because you're not. It's not consistent enough. Like this is just this game. Javonte's numbers
utilized more, but yeah.
Javonte had 26 points. He had 4.6 the last game. He had 16, 10, 6, 11. So it's like.
And who are the Broncos playing next week? Do you know by chance?
They're playing Carolina, so that I was saying we needed a Panthers game and we got it.
Time to feast.
Picking them up probably this week, especially after how Washington went off. Come on.
Without Jaden Daniels.
What's the score? Are they still playing right now?
No, that game ended. I think it was like 40-7.
Yeah, did they even score?
Oh yeah, they got a touchdown late, but Washington punked them.
See, so that's good. The Broncos got a chance to go in there and get another win streak going, right? Like pick up. That's what you want to do in the
beat
NFL,
the teams
right?
you're supposed to beat, and the rest of it will take care of itself.
Yep, pick up the wins in bunches. Pick them up when you can, because you can't always get the wins, right? Like so. I feel good going into it. And then let me see. I mean,
that was
then
a
they have the
beautiful
Chiefs
ball
after
from Wilson.
that.
Did you
So
see that, Shawnee?
What?
turn his game back
Sorry,
on.
I'm
that
watching the
50,
game.
Yeah, that 50-50 ball that Pickens won that Wilson threw up for him just now.
Yeah, Pickens was interfered with, and the guy like slammed him after, and then Warren just ran it. Okay, is this? No, that's a completion of the tight end. We're in the red zone right now.
Oh, I love me some Washington. He needs to get more. Look at how big he is.
Look how huge
He's
he
I
is.
know. That's why he's
That's
our
the Bus
huge.
reincarnated.
Like, put that
That's why
man
he's
as
the
a
Buck.
fullback, hand
And
it
just
off
give
to
him
him
the
at the
ball.
goal line. I guarantee he's scoring 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. All right. So let's tie about
Sorry.
for the Broncos game. So we got Broncos playing the Panthers next week. I see them rolling.
Oh, that's a win.
Yeah,
the way the Panthers look today, like they're gonna steamroll them. Start your Broncos next week.
and I
all
think
of them.
Sutton should be back. So or Surtain should be back. So if Surtain's
Mhm.
back, then yeah, definitely like ride that defense, ride that hot defense. They're top 5 defense in the league for a reason. Like I said, I'm not afraid to play them up against anybody right now because of that defense. So yeah, moving on. We do have some
Come on.
minion maker. Mini money maker.
Mini money Okay, yeah. What's up, money? Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Mini Money Maker. Yo, what do you think about my Devontae for Bowers? I don't know, man. I mean,
like trading Devontae for Bowers?
Yeah.
Yeah, he says my Devontae. So
okay.
I don't know. You got to let us know what other wide receivers you have and what tight ends you have.
Yep, good point. I mean, just without context, looking at it, I mean, what did Bowers do this week against the Rams? Did he have a good game or?
You already are. What are you talking about?
Did they play?
In like redraft, I probably am doing the deal, but in Dynasty, absolutely not.
Well,
with no context of the situation.
Yeah, Mini Moneymaker, tell us the rest of your team. Thanks for chiming in. Don't forget to
and if it's a Dynasty, if it's a redraft league or what, because just off the bat, looking at redraft, I'm not doing this deal, and Dynasty, I'm probably doing the deal.
Yeah. Well, you guys joining in. Thanks for tuning in. This is a Sunday night episode of Shady Sports Fantasy Football Reports.
Wait for me.
The Bus Driver Cedric Green, got a co-pilot, Shawnee, Justin. Looks like Shawnee has his whole bus with him, so we're always proud to have him on too. Hey, Shawnee, you know it's all love, it's all family, man. For sure.
7-6, Jets up by 1. Pittsburgh just kicked another field goal off Boswell.
There we go. Our live updates. We're bringing you instant reactions. We're talking about games throughout the day. We're talking about the Broncos game. So, Mini Moneymaker, tell us the rest of your team. We'll get back to that.
Absolutely.
Frankly, yeah, the Raiders suck. The Jets suck. Nah.
Well, did you see any of the Raiders game or anything? Or
no? Why?
I didn't. Huh?
Why?
No, you didn't watch anything. That's fine.
I didn't get to see any of the Raiders game.
I can tell you if they lost or not. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know how well he did or didn't do.
I know Spillane for IDP had his worst game of the season for me as linebacker. I think he only scored like 26.
They lost 15-20.
He averages like
they put up that many points on the Rams.
15 points.
Wow.
Brock Bowers had 23 points. So I mean, when
you look at boy.
Maybe you should trade for him if you can, right?
Yeah.
He's the number one.
Like Shawnee said, depends really on your team construction and what you have and what you need.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be so quick to get rid of Devontae Adams given the fact that he just got himself a quarterback. But if it's a deep league and you're hurting real bad at tight end, and that's a place where you're missing 20 points a week, but you have other receivers, then you do that deal. But otherwise, you got to wait and see what Devontae Adams looks like, because with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback now, his ceiling and even his floor gives him top 10 potential every week.
Yeah. But Aaron, I say so for this season. Yeah, it definitely. But I mean, who knows what's gonna go beyond that though? What if Aaron Rodgers is like, I don't want to play anymore. I want to retire.
You never know with that guy.
Right?
He plays by his own rules.
So Justin, you want to get into your lines?
Sure, I'd love to. I was really impressed by the game today. It was closer than I would have liked it to have been, but at the end of the day, they got the field goal they needed, and the defense held just enough. They bent, but didn't break. I mean that second quarter alone was the backbreaker for the Vikings. Like the Lions put up 21 points in the second quarter, and then it was just after that it was just holding water. They didn't have that Brian Flores defense didn't have an answer for the Lions offense.
Mm-hmm.
No, Anzalone was trying but couldn't get it done.
Yeah, total yards, the Lions had 391, 247 passing, 144 rushing. They were averaging 7 yards per play. They got 19 first downs. They edged them in the total plays. The penalties were about the same. And time is that like the game is really equal as far as like stats goes on either side of the ball. Like only a little bit separates each other, but I think the X factor was Jahmyr Gibbs in that running game for the Lions. That's their identity and that's the will they imposed. And Goff just had to be efficient. He only missed 3 passes. He had 2 touchdowns.
Goff is on point, dude.
He is playing
22 of 25
efficient football.
Yeah. He did have 2 carries for negative 4 yards. He's having a Pro
Bowl season for real.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
He did go to the Super Bowl, though. He did go to the Super Bowl.
He's got that experience. He's got that cutout. And what does this game say to me in the short? Like, you knocked off an undefeated team with your best defensive player out of the lineup, and you had Montgomery out for a couple enough series, and you still were able to edge out a victory. I mean, props to that defense for holding that Minnesota offense as well as they did and containing Justin Jefferson.
Like that interception, that was huge.
I foresee a downfall for the Vikings, though. I don't know.
Well, every team who's played the Detroit Lions, their following game they've lost.
Crazy.
It's a crazy stat, but it's 100% true stat. Every team that's played the Lions, the following week they've lost. So the Vikings are going out to LA to play the Rams on Thursday night, and we'll see how well that goes for them. This is definitely a gut punch for them coming off the bye, well rested, healthy, ready to go. And their defense played exceptionally well. They got a turnover touchdown, and they, contained them as much as they could. But the Lions just had more big plays or explosive plays.
Yeah,
like Gibbs just
looked good, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, and then just at the end of the game where it mattered, the Lions were just.
Hall just broke a long one. Is he taking it to the house?
Wait, what?
Oh my God, dude! That was like a 60-yard run by Breece Hall.
Oh, Rodgers threw it. The defense just took each other out. Oh, there goes another missed tackle. Damn. But. So, going forward, I was really happy about the Lions game, and now they're at the top of the NFC North. They're the division leaders, and we'll see I think they play – I don't know who they play next week, but I'm confident they'll get another win. But also, when I was watching that game, Brad Holmes, man, you got to do something. You got to find somebody to get to that quarterback. You only had 1 sack today. You got to get people on the edge to pressure the quarterback. Otherwise, Sam Darnold could have picked him apart even worse if there was more time. Like, he was being effective, getting the ass and the big bombs, Jefferson for big first downs. It's just that's my biggest concern right now with the team going forward is they need a pass rush. They don't have a pass rush. So, and the Vikings just made poor decisions of trying to throw the ball when they should have tried to establish the run themselves, bounce it outside, throw off some off tackle runs in there, sprinkle it in. But it was 2 heavyweight teams, an unstoppable force meeting a movable object, and one had to come out to be the winner. And thankfully it was the Lions. I mean, in the past, it would worry me when you're down that late in the game, 2-minute warning, and you have to rely on your kicker. Like the Lions in the past haven't had a kicker. So they've had to do crazy stuff and go for it at the end of games, and it kind of has cost them. And now they have this new kicker that they picked up to seal games and knock them out.
Yeah. That's funny. That's what I said this morning on the pregame show. Yeah,
oh, you did?
Unstoppable. What is it? The unmovable object, or was it unstoppable?
Yeah. So, what do you guys think in the purview of this review of that Lions Vikings game? Is it more to say about the Vikings losing, or more about the Lions winning?
I
actually had Minnesota pick to win this game.
Really?
Okay.
That was just who I picked and pick them because I thought they were going to have the edge. And I mean,
did too.
they did have the lead pretty much going into that last couple minutes until that field goal. I know Jay Jettis had a good game, man. He had like almost 20 fantasy points, but he had a solid day just in general. Darnold looked good. Jones looked good coming off the injury again. And I don't know, man. It just the Lions are so freaking good. And it's a scary matchup. And I don't know. I thought Minnesota might have had, like, if anybody had the chops to take them on and do it, it'd be them. And now that I watch them not do it, I see Goff so on point. And, Branch is getting about an interception a game. And I think it has been consistently like that. I mean, Anzalone's a vulture. They're amazing to watch. I think Amon-Ra was more involved today, and I think he put up really solid numbers too, which was good to see. He was spreading the ball out a little bit more as of late, up until today. Laporta had a pretty decent game, I think.
No, he did not. Laporta had a crap.
Oh, Seth was quick there.
He what?
Not.
Laporta sucked.
I just saw highlights of him catching a deep ball. I thought he might have.
Yeah, that was the only pass he caught. 25 yards, buddy.
Yeah, he just wasn't involved like in the offense. It was his day. I mean, I don't know. The thing is, so for the Lions, the offense is working even without him producing. And like Grayson and I said last week, should have been, if you could, with the value he had then, trading him to upgrade another position elsewhere.
Well,
because
you're right. But I didn't expect that.
To answer the question, though, my top score was the perfect 8 for 8, 112-yard, 1 touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown was my top scorer in my leagues. Closely followed by Mr. Aaron Jones.
Are we just talking?
No, we're just talking redraft.
I was just asking. Anything like my top scoring player.
I think my top scoring player today so far was Bijan.
Dude, I am so happy for him. Did anybody, either of you guys catch that game?
Yeah, he's had 2 consistent.
I saw some highlights.
Like, even though the Falcons got blown out
so far.
It's promising. Like, I'm not as frustrated anymore. Like, even if they're losing, he's still being involved in the game plan. He's still being involved in the play, and that's what they need to do. Unfortunately, they didn't come out with the win, but as a fantasy owner of him, that's promising. I like to see it. I hope it continues.
He crushed it for me today. I think he got 31.
Oh, wow.
Gibbs got 32 for me.
Yeah, he is beast mode. Sonic was catching all those rings today.
I watched Jameer go off on that long
Wasn't that a beautiful thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a morale breaker for the defense. You just see that guy pop out of the hole and go in the distance. It's like, God damn it.
And once he's got space like that,
it's done.
Touched.
It's crazy too, because I had him and Montgomery starting in one league, and I don't even care that Montgomery.
Props to you, man, just sticking with that method, because Sonic and Knuckles, you're getting like probably 30, 40 points a week from those guys.
No, that's in foosball. I put Montgomery on the bench in favor of Joe Mixon, who went off.
Well, hey, Mixon is having one hell of a.
Mixon had like 39.
Yeah,
26 for me in our league.
And for where people drafted him this year in fantasy, like, he is an RB1. Set it, forget it. He is a beast.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder. It goes to show how much Cam Akers came into that offense, and you think as his handcuff, he was going to do well. And then you watch him shit the bed, he gets traded. But, as soon as he comes back in, he just goes back to his true form. It just goes to show that Mixon is that guy. You know,
he's that. He is him.
He's that dude.
It makes you wonder though, what were you thinking? Like, why don't you? I mean, Chase Brown's doing okay, and Zach Moss is Zach Moss, but like the way Mixon's playing in Houston, is it a product of that offense down there, and he's feasting off of it, or is it truly Mixon is just that much of a baller? Like he is the guy.
He's that much of a baller. We saw Cam.
Yeah.
We saw
well, like, what is the Bengals thinking, letting him walk?
So we got Big Mac Brad. Hey, Big Mac Brad, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like button and share.
Share us with all your friends.
Yes, please. He has Saquon, Kareem Hunt, Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas Jr., and Bowers all drop around 20 this week. 7-0 now.
Damn. Congratulations. Pat on the back to you.
Dude, I'll tell you something right now, Big Mac. The odds of getting to week 7 undefeated is like 4.7%.
Yeah.
Well, that's so big props to you, Big Mac. Yeah. Like that's
impressive. I'm close right now. I'm in my ESPN.
So you guys look at me. I have a different vibe. My Lions won today.
Hey.
And I'm leading in my matchup, so I'm going from 1-6 to possibly 2-7.
Yeah.
So things are turning around. Let's keep that injury bug at bay, and I think I might salvage my season if things keep going well.
Hey. So would you guys trade Brock Bowers and Olave for Laporta and Cup? Probably not the way that Laporta's playing.
No, and the fact that Cup is not they say they expect him to come back next week, but he's one of those guys.
Big Mac.
He's one of those guys that linger with injuries. When he's injured, they don't play him. And every week they're like, oh, he's expected to come back. Then he puts in limited practices, and then comes game time, and they're holding him off another week.
McVay was addressed to that in the post game today, and he said that Kupp is expected to suit up for Thursday night's game against the Vikings. He was held out of the game this week to have him extra rest and be prepared to go on Thursday night against the Vikings.
If he's a go, then I'm starting him. He's a must start for me. But as far as that trade goes, I thumbs down that trade.
All right.
Bowers is too good to get rid of for someone who's not doing what they need to be doing or not getting targeted the way he should be, like Laporta.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, I don't know.
In Dynasty, I'm not doing that trade in redraft. If you're desperate or just the context of your team, I'd maybe consider it, but I'm probably not doing it either.
But isn't Olave coming back? He's still going to be top dog when he comes back.
But if he comes back, he's coming back to a rattler. And
who has some experience. It was battle tested.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't have a sample size between him and Olave, so we don't know how well they're going to do. So I guess it's a risk. Either way, you're taking a big risk. You go on either side of that trade.
That was a good pass.
But yeah, Big Mac Brad, he knows what's up. True Kings of the North showed up today, and they took over. It's our division.
Yeah. So
it doesn't surprise me one bit, man. A lot of preseason predictions have the Lions in the Super Bowl. A lot.
Lions against the Broncos in the Super Bowl?
What?
I said a lot of preseason predictions and early predictions had the Lions in the Super Bowl.
Nice. Mm-hmm. I mean, they are making the NFC look.
And they obviously have the chops.
Yes. Well,
so who else out of this week's games, like the Eagles played and the Seahawks play? Like who else did well in the NFC that you guys were impressed with that you watched or didn't watch?
Man,
well,
the Browns with Jameis Winston coming in.
Well, I mean, in the NFC said, like someone who can contest the Lions at the top of the NFC. Like,
sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Well, I mean, I'm waiting to see what Tampa Bay does tomorrow. I feel pretty high up on them.
Yeah.
The Eagles put a thumping on the Giants, but also the Eagles struggle with the Browns too last week.
Yeah. So, that's what concerned me. Like, if you struggle with the Browns, take care of business against the Giants, but like struggling against the Browns kind of is a little bit worrisome to me.
Speaking of the Browns, though, how about Chubb coming back in and getting a tutty his first game back?
Yeah, Chubb.
I'm happy about that, man. He had a nasty injury.
Came in and Joku went off because of that. I thought that was
just the fact that man had a just disgusting injury and he's back and he scores a touchdown in his first game back and he did respectably fantasy wise is That's humbling. It's great to see as an NFL fan.
389 days. Oh, Wilson put up a gunner.
It's dropped.
Incomplete. Wilson just before he put this up to Pickens had a 30-yard pass to Fairmouth.
Yeah. No,
they got Pickett. Oh, Vera Tucker.
Jaden Daniels went down with a rib injury, so we'll see how.
I don't like that at all, man.
See what happens with
scary
that.
Going for that.
I saw.
Granted, Brian Robinson Jr. held the fort down and got the running game going with the Commanders, but I don't know how that offense looks like without Jaden Daniels at the helm.
Yeah. So I don't.
We've all seen Mariota with the Titans and other offenses like the Falcons. He is very human and very beatable.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
And I didn't check yet, but let me see. So just for next week's sake, where the heck is it? The Lions play. Oh my gosh, everything takes forever to load nowadays.
San Fran had a really rough
game. Oh man.
Who they playing?
The Tennessee Titans at home.
Oh, so they should eat.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That should be a feast.
That is going to be a slaughter. But yeah, what were you saying, Shawnee? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just
you didn't. I was just filling in banter while you were looking that up.
Oh, okay.
I said San Francisco.
What is up, man? That looks scary.
They let Kansas City stay undefeated with it's obvious that injuries have devastated that team, and now it looks like Ayuk's going to be done for the season with the ACL tear.
Yeah. And then Debo
it's not
didn't
like
play
he was making
illness.
a difference or anything, but with Jawan Jennings already out, Debo tried to play but was so sick on the sideline that he had to have oxygen and couldn't go back in. Mason, he got it going a little bit, but not enough to be a difference maker. And, Purdy had a couple touchdowns at the goal line. But
he was doing the best he can, man. When you don't have your top two wide receivers going and CMC's not playing, like...
That's hard.
Kittle's always there for him, I know. And he's had a couple really big, solid games this season, but not too, I don't know.
You got to pray that Kittle stays healthy because I don't know how Purdy keeps his ship afloat just going off of whatever he has available to him.
Yeah, it's Kansas City is Kareem Hunt. Something about that dude. He can take all this time off and he can miss training camps and he can be unsigned. Then he just comes back in and just rolls shit. He's
just crazy because he went unsigned for so long and Andy Reid just scoops him up and things are just back to normal.
Naturally talented, bounce off your defender, yards after contact, yards after. He's a dual threat. I mean, he had a sick game today. He had 2 tutties. I think he ended up around 20 fantasy points. But, yeah, he's a definite must-start every week. And it's crazy. And it actually was even more crazy is to see how good Mecole Hardman did.
Yeah. Yeah, that was I know you got – is this like a waiver possible pickup you're thinking, or is this just kind of fool's gold?
I think it would. I don't know. I really don't know because.
Would you jeopardize? I shouldn't say jeopardize, but would you use your waiver priority for him?
He could be, yeah. Juju being injured again because he was questionable all week with a hamstring and then left the game with the hamstring.
So he's gonna probably be done for a week or two.
So yeah, I mean, if Hardman's he's picking up those targets. He seems to be that guy. It wasn't Kelsey. It was Gray.
Or if you're the Chiefs, do you go out and pick up like a Mike Williams or trade for DeAndre Hopkins or try to make some sort of move on the wide receiver side of the ball?
Yeah, definitely worth the stash. I think for now. I think he's probably. I mean, I'm sure he's available. And
he's got to be. I'm sure those numbers are.
So if he's available. And you got roster room or you're hurting at wide receiver, it's not going to hurt. He's on an undefeated team. And with the day he had, there's no reason why not.
One game that really stood out to me that was a giant disappointment for fantasy and just an overall, just an abysmal display of athletics in the NFL was the Dolphins-Colts game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Huntley gets knocked out. Richardson plays a poor game. It's a low-scoring game. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle combined for 2 receptions for 19 yards.
Yep.
Combined.
Yeah, Hill
Pittman
had
has
10.7 fantasy points.
Yeah, Pittman has like 60 yards off of 3 catches. Downs is almost a ghost. Like these 2 offenses for fantasy are just graveyards. It's just dead. Like and at the beginning of the season, you looked at them, they're like you thought you're going to have stacked high-powered offenses, but granted, they've also been hit with injuries. Though today just looked like 2 not NFL level standard teams playing against each other. It was bad.
Mm.
Yeah, it was hard. It's hard to watch that.
Like, if you have like players in those off, are you trying to like offload them and sell them, or are you just keeping them stashed on your bench, or are you starting them? Like, are you just gonna continue rolling them out there, or where are you guys at with those Colts and Miami offensive players after this week?
The Colts I've stayed away from because they're too hit or miss anyway. And Hill just always seems like that guy who's a set it and forget it. So for him, it's got to the point now where, I mean, come on, man. You can't, 2 points a week's not going to do it. I don't care who you are.
That's killing teams. Like, that's your wide receiver 1 getting you 2 points. And, like, that's railroading your team.
I know Mostert had a pretty crappy day, but what about A-Chain?
A-Chain
look it up, Sad. You're the computer.
A-Chain had 15 carries for 77 yards, so he got 10.5 points.
Okay.
And he had 2 receptions for 8 yards.
Okay. I don't have like many, if any, shares of either of those offenses. I'm just curious where you guys, for like the fantasy aspect of it, is like what you're doing with those players, or if how you're relying on them going forward, or just where you see them like on your teams.
Yeah,
well,
I think
I only have Hill in 1 league, and I don't have him any of those guys in any other leagues. I have Pittman on the bench in 1, so I mean, it really doesn't affect me. But obviously, at this point, if I'm giving advice, they're not going to be relevant. They're just you can't depend on them, and unless they turn around and show some consistency, then they're either try and sell low and see if you can get anybody decent out of them, or you stash them until things turn around, or it continues down the same path, and otherwise you're just dropping them.
So I think I'm in the same boat. Whereas like I don't think I'm starting the next week. Like Pittman's, the Downs, the Goodsons, or whoever's starting for Jonathan Taylor, or A-Chan, or Mostert, or Hill, or Waddle. I think for me, if I have any of their shares, I have to wait and see, like what Shawnee's saying. Just until they pop off for a game, I'm more comfortable just keeping them on my bench. At the very least, I mean, if you can somehow move them or whatever, I don't think necessarily they're at the droppable stage just because of how much we've seen A-Chan and Hill in the past pop off. Those players have good big games. But right now, it's like put them in the fallout shelter and just let them –
I'd also be interested to know what Miami's schedule is going forward, and the Colts. Because that'll make a big difference too.
So which one
I want to know the Dolphins first.
Dolphins got here.
The Dolphins play the Cardinals, the Bills, Rams, Raiders, Patriots, Packers, Jets, Texans.
So that's like a pretty heavy schedule with a couple mediocres in between. So I mean, there's some room in there,
man.
Arizona, I can see them, against that secondary. They're easy on the run, so A-Chain might, and I don't know. What about the Colts going forward?
For the Colts, they play the Texans next, then they play the Vikings after that.
Oh boy. Yeah, over the next couple weeks, I don't see myself starting any Colts.
That's brutal.
I don't know. Goodson has been the only redeeming quality of that backfield. Sermon did not so well, but Goodson had at least 12 points. And that's better than, I don't know. A lot of people really went single digit on me today, and I didn't have the best week. So I don't know. Sometimes 11 points can seem
was that
nice.
an interception?
Yeah, it was. So after the Colts play the Texans and Vikings, their next 3 games after that are the Bills, the Jets, the Lions.
Oh, God. Well.
And then after that, they play the Patriots, then the Broncos.
Hey.
Stick a fork in them.
Dunzo. I think I'm going to, maybe it's a hot take said, I'm out on Colts players rest of the season.
Yeah,
that schedule looks
depending
daunting.
On how, if Richardson can step up, Steelers pick the ball off.
That was a sweet one-handed interception.
Yeah, I don't know if Richardson can turn around and have some type of decent, leadership ability to come into that group, then maybe they might be able to turn things around a little bit. But I don't see them, from what I've
Those
seen
are a lot
the
of good
first 7
offenses and
weeks,
good defenses.
them being
going
able
up
to
against.
compete with the likes of their remaining schedule.
What about you, Seth?
The Dolphins, however, are a different story, especially when it comes to Tyreek Hill.
Is Tua supposed to come back? Does anyone know, or is he still?
Yeah, he's supposed to come back next week.
Okay, so we are hopeful then for Achane, Mostert, all those guys, or
that scares the shit out of me though, Tua, man. Oh
yeah,
that poor guy, dude. I don't know. It's so freaking scary. How many times we've watched his fingers curl up in front of his face with his arms up in the air,
right? And
him not knowing where he's at, just like walking to a fall down. Like, I understand clearing protocol and going to doctors and stuff like that, but I don't know, man. That just really scares me on permanent injury status. But the only way that Miami is going to do what they need to do to make any of those guys relevant, truly relevant, or back to RB1 or back to wide receiver 1 status is going to be with him taking snaps.
Well, hey guys, I'm gonna cut away real quick for a promo, and then when we come back, Shiny, we'll touch on your weekly winners and weekly
winners.
Sounds good. We'll be right back.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Those of you just joining us, this is the Week 7 review on Shady Sports Fantasy Football Reports. We're talking NFL, man. We're talking fantasy football, and we're bringing you nothing but the topics you want to talk about, right? We're helping you get your team right. So thank you guys for tuning in. Those of you on Instagram, shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in as well, too. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, all of the social medias. Hey, so
what I want to know, Seb, right now is who are our winners this week? Who's our winners?
Right? Yeah. So, like I said, we come back. We're gonna get into Shawnee's weekly winners. We got Shawnee on, so let's go.
Are we talking weekly winners from week 6 or this week?
Well, for what you had for week 6.
That's what I put
week 5 on there. I didn't update week 5, but it's week 7. So you have Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, Caleb Williams.
Yeah, last week these guys really went off and helped you big time. Goff, we touched on. He's a beast. His quarterback rating right now is through the roof. He's got 9 tutties, 1 INT. It's absolutely insane over the last couple of games. Purdy, he did not keep it rolling. He had a couple of touchdowns, and I think he probably kept his fantasy numbers up, but not to that status. Lamar is the number 1 quarterback and the number 1 overall scorer in fantasy football. So he is just, forget about it. Caleb had himself a great week. They played a great game. And Baker, I think, is number 3 QB, number 5 overall. So obviously he's that guy, and he's going to continue to be that guy with Evans and Godwin. A little bit of love for Kate Otten, and obviously they got a little 3-piece rolling in the backfield right now. I don't know who we're going to see the most of, but it looks like White will be back coming off that foot injury. But the coaches said they're going to go with the hot hand, so it looks like
AKA start none of them.
We'll probably see. Well, Sean Tucker had 37 points, and Bucky Urban had 24 when White was out. So he said he's going with the hot hand. Those are guys that killed it last week. So with him back, White's going to get touches, but I don't think if all 3 of them play and it's a committee like that, it's not going to help at all. So, and obviously, honorable mention, Justin Fields. He's out this week. They got a little bit of a promo chess move by Tomlin, publicity stunt going
his
on.
move and his move only.
I don't know. He threw a stick pass to Pickens just now for a tutty.
Russell just hit Pickens for the tutty.
Tutty.
If Russell Wilson stays in as starting quarterback, does that raise Pickens' value or keep it about the same, or are you not in on it?
I need more eye test than 1 week. Mm-hmm. I got to watch him. If he stays a starter, we're going to watch closely, see what he does, who he favors. It seems to be Pickens and Freiermuth so far. And if that's the case, you know, where the volume goes is where I go.
I want to know what they got to do to get Darnell Washington in the offense, man. That man's too big. Too big.
That's why they use him on them heavy blocking schemes. That's why Najee was having such a good game last week. We got
so
moving.
And then we got your backs? Well, do you want to do running backs or your weekly sucks?
Oh yeah, let's do the suck.
Oh, okay.
Because I think most of them play. We still got Herbert to play. So yeah, we saw Danny Dimes, Kurt Cochains. We saw him play. Herbert hasn't played yet.
No.
Jones got benched.
Yeah, did he?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, they dropped the dime. These guys. I mean, we're talking single-digit fantasy points out of solid dudes that you would start without even thinking about it, except for Jones. You know, Jones on this list, he kind of belongs on it and stays on it. But these other 4 guys are guys who have weapons around them and capabilities of, you know, just killing it. So we'll hope to see more out of them, better out of them in the next couple weeks to come. Obviously, you know, Cousins had a decent game today, didn't pull it out, with Bijan having a good game. Dak, I just don't know, man. I really just don't know. And Herbert, we'll see play. I think they're going to have a solid game against that Arizona defense. I really do. But, yep, I know that there's a handful of others on this list as well. It was a better than this week last week so far, but still, a lot of guys hurt you rather than helped you last week.
Yeah. All right, so looking at these running backs. So, you had a stable of running backs.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of running backs last week that just went off. These are guys that all had 25 or more fantasy points last week. Najee, obviously the big name on the list for me. This is his first 100-yard game in a while. Touchdowns. DeAndre Swift, you know, he started off rough, turned it around once he thought he was losing his job. Obviously, David Montgomery making this list. Bijan, he had his first week at 25 points last week, and he's kept it going this week. Joe Mixon, same thing. Breece Hall is looking to be doing the same thing tonight against the Steelers, but hopefully we put up. And King Henry. Oh, yeah. King Henry looks to be pretty unstoppable in that Baltimore offense. I can see him most definitely finishing in the top 5 of running backs for fantasy for the season, probably even top 3.
So I'm going up against him tomorrow night. Am I safe, or is he? You feel going to go off against the Bucks?
He's going off.
I think it depends. If the run game works out and they keep it going, then yeah. But if for some reason Tampa Bay ends up crushing and getting a big lead going, and then they got to go to the air, or Lamar getting tricky, I don't know. It depends on game script, really.
That scares me. I don't like seeing Derrick Henry on the other side of the matchup. I just
yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah, that's definitely a scary one.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we got your weekly sucks. I don't know. This looks so good. I mean, I
think Spears is out now with injury.
He was hurt.
Dang.
Devontae is my biggest turnaround on this list for the week.
Yeah.
He killed it on Thursday. Thank God. Love it. We already touched on that.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon, I'm not sure what kind of day he had today, but I know it was somewhere around 20.
He had a good day.
I think, having a good day there.
Yeah, he had 26.
I think on injury as well.
Yep.
Or ill.
Yeah, he was hurt.
And Jacobs and Connor just had horrible games. Not good, not good. Jacobs turned around a little bit, and we're gonna find out with Connor tomorrow versus the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, man. I feel like Saquon had a really decent game today.
Yeah, they trounced the Giants. They sent a message like, "You shouldn't have never given me up, boy."
He ran over the whole team, man.
It was a divisional game today, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Giants fans let him hear it too. Of like, "You idiots, letting him go."
Yeah, I thought Tracy or Singletary were gonna go off and
show him something. Game.
No, there was nothing. Their spirits, their will is broken by halftime, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was a one-sided game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're moving into wide receivers.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
So wide receiver got a couple guys that play tomorrow. I don't think Debo played.
He was sick. He technically did, but he did not.
Yeah, I started out, and then I know AJ Brown had a tutty today. I think it was like a 41-yarder. Beautiful.
He had like 20 points.
Yeah, Godwin had an amazing week. Again, I think he had like 40-something, 41 or something. And then we'll look to see how he does again this week tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Wilson had an amazing week, his best so far. But now we got Devontae Adams in the mix. So we're going to see how that pass share tears out. He's playing right now versus the Steelers. So tune in, see how he does. Keep following your matchup. And then Scary Terry, Mr. McLaurin. He had a great week. I'm not sure what he did this week, to be honest. I know Jaden went down, I think, at what? Did Jaden go down?
Yeah, with the rib injury.
Yeah, he did. And it definitely hurt Terry McLaurin. Like,
he still had 15.8 points.
Oh, wow.
Going forward, if Jaden doesn't play, his ceiling is definitely hurt.
Goes down. Yeah, but I feel like Seagull's gonna go off for sure. Zay Flowers, he's becoming that guy, like that go-to over there for Lamar.
Oh yeah.
As far as the passing game goes, so
yeah, Flowers is set it and forget it guy for me, bro.
All right, so we got Dr. Barry McCockiner. These names, man. Jordan Love, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Dr. Barry McCockiner. Very, very good name choice there,
bro. God damn it, said.
Jordan Love, first ballot Hall of Famer.
No.
I mean, that's a bold statement, but I mean, I could see it being true.
I think for the injury he sustained at the beginning of the year, he's making a name for himself. He's doing really well there quarterbacking. He's got consecutive multi-touchdown games, so he's got multiple passing yards. He's spraying the ball around. He's really commanding that Packers offense. He's doing well for himself. I mean,
we got in the context of this,
context of this statement, though, he's only started for 2 seasons now. I mean, he's on. I'll say this: he's on track to having a consider it Hall of Fame career if he continues doing as well as he does.
Absolutely. Bold statement, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have faith and love in your people, though.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that share button, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Keep it going.
Show some love.
Show some love for sure.
Hey, drop your comments, your fantasy lineup questions, anything in the chat. We'll keep this thing going here on all the streaming, and then if you want to keep it going after the show, we're more than welcome to answer your questions and whatnot off the Facebook fantasy group. So we're here to help you out as much as possible, whenever possible. So don't be shy. Feel free to pop in and send us some love.
Yeah. See, Shawnee has his team of writers over there that'll be putting all his facts together for him. Get his fact checkers over there. Yeah, guys, like you said, drop your teams in the chat, drop your comments, join in on the conversation. That's the goal here, right? So we like to thank you guys. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
How are you? What's your pick for the week?
What?
She loves Jay Jettas, bro.
Oh,
she's obsessed with Jefferson for
yeah,
some reason.
That touchdown catch was
Amon-Ra and Jay Jettas are her favorite players because she watched that wide receiver show with me.
Oh, I want to watch that.
She's been about them ever since that. But what do we say?
Go Steelers.
That's my girl.
Go Steelers. Steelers are going.
She got plenty
right
of
now.
Broncos jerseys, bro. Don't worry.
Hey.
I only sneak in those "Let's Go Steelers" when Mom ain't home.
Right. You got to get those "Let's Go Steelers" in, right? That's the home team. The other home team, right? You got multiples, so ain't nothing wrong.
Steelers are down 15-13 over the Jets at halftime. Guys, make sure you tune in. Keep track of your fantasy.
That's who is taking the second half. The Steelers going to pull out a comeback, or the Jets going to keep streaming along and finishing this one out and taking the win? Let us know.
Steelers are getting the dub.
Yeah, I think I picked the Jets in this one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Sorry, Shady.
You heard it here first.
I wasn't riding with the rust.
All the more sweeter when we pulled the dub.
Hey, you got to. And I think they're gonna put Justin Fields in here.
Oh my gosh, no.
Well,
they think they'll put him in.
He said he was gonna play him.
Dude, I don't know what they're doing. Like
he said, he's evaluating his quarterbacks to see what he has.
This team, and even I can't get behind that, man. I think that it's cruel and unusual punishment to your team to change leaders in the middle of a season or in the middle of a game. And I watched. What team was doing that consistently, switching quarterbacks like every week?
Well, see, I don't think they were prepared to get Justin Fields when they got Justin Fields, right?
Was it? Well, the Raiders are doing it too this year, but wasn't it the Bears last year with Justin Fields? They were trying out different quarterbacks. Or there was a team. I don't remember what team it was, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just not okay.
Was it the tight? No, I don't know. But yeah, it's a morale killer. It's a rhythm killer. It's just pick one.
Yeah,
pick one.
One man should lead that team consistently. That's it.
Can I show them your nails?
No.
Nice.
Show them your nails. Look at my nails.
They green.
Hey. Oh, let me see.
I did them.
Yeah. The Caleb Williams effect.
I'll see you guys on the
Tuesday the Caleb Williams effect.
It's my 40th birthday on Wednesday, guys.
Oh shoot!
Oh, are we having a birthday special on Tuesday? Said.
Let's do it.
So I will see y'all there.
Perfect. Thanks for being on as long as you were able to tonight. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
God bless y'all and your teams. I hope y'all win your matchups this week. And guys, if you want to drop me anything, Shawnee Monahan on Facebook, Shawnee _Monahan on Insta. We got the Facebook fan page. Anything you want to ask, anything you need, you can holler at your boy. I'm always here for you. And I know said Justin the same way. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you,
I'm
man.
gonna sign off here before my phone
dies.
All right.
That's all right. Have a good night. Take it easy.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bye. Yeah, cool. Always love having Shawnee on. It's the reason
birthday is this Wednesday. Said you gotta show him some love on the Tuesday show.
I know we definitely do. We have to figure something out. That's cool. I completely spaced on that. But much love, Shady, and we'll definitely come up with something. Always a pleasure having him on the show.
Hopefully you're feeling better too on Tuesday.
Should be. We'll get it going. We're good. So it looks like it's 15-13, and this Steelers-Jets game is pretty close. Quarterback's
so
pretty
going
close
forward
too.
for next week's games, we both feel that our teams are going to secure the dub. Like the Lions are going against the Titans.
Yeah.
Broncos going against the Panthers. Just
throw
them up, Dubs. Throw them up. Call it a
Yeah,
day.
I think it's safe to say that for sure. Let's look at your team.
I don't know who the Steelers are playing, but
Steelers next week are playing. Let me see.
I'm sure Shawnee will let us know the good news.
Right. And then on Tuesday we'll do previews. So we'll get into all the games. Let's see. Yeah, the Steelers are playing the Giants.
Oh.
Next Monday night.
Oh, spicy.
Mean Joe Green. Nice.
Well, let's see which quarterback gets pulled first in that game.
Let's see what the feed says. So would you trade away Amon-Ra and Connor to receive DeAndre Swift and more in a redraft?
No, Amon-Ra, I'm hold on to my sun god. I'm not trading him. No, it'd have to take a king's ransom to get Amon-Ra off of me. Oh, yeah, my team of the week.
Let's see how your team of the week did.
Burrow blew up the Browns like he should have.
Yeah, but he didn't exactly go off, though.
Yeah, he got Deshaun Watson hurt. He did so well at quarterback that Deshaun blew out an Achilles trying to emulate him.
Yeah, but he only threw for 181 yards. He had 2 tutties. He
was all right.
13.9 points.
I mean, it wasn't the ceiling game you've seen him do in the past, but It was respectable. He didn't turn the ball over.
That's true.
I don't think he killed your lineup by any means. I don't think his performance hurt your team drastically, but he just didn't.
It helped
anchor your team with a solid performance.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
So whoopsie there.
Yeah, man.
I thought it was gonna be a bigger game against the Browns.
Kyron Williams.
He did his business. He stuck it to the Raiders right away in the first quarter, got a touchdown, and I don't remember his exact stats, but they leaned on the running game pretty heavily in that second half because they were just taking care of the Raiders.
Yeah,
Saquon, he did his thing against the Giants, coming home for the revenge game, got his touchdown, got a good chunk of yards. It looked really, really good. Drake London, I don't know. I think he got a touchdown and
he did.
60 yards.
Yeah.
So respectable. It wasn't a high ceiling game. Wasn't a bottom floor. 2 duds on this lineup this week. Deontay Johnson and Jaden Reed both had sub 5 points. Whoopsie. My bad. Did not see that coming. They just were not game script and in the rotation this week it was different people. They were feeding them the ball. It just byproduct of that.
Oh, I was going to say,
Jaden Reed was coming off an ankle injury from last week, so they were kind of taking it a little bit easier on him. So he'll bounce back next week. I think he'll have a good, decent game. They're playing the Jaguars, so that defense is susceptible to big plays, and Jaden Reed will punish them for it. George Kittle, I don't know exactly what he did in that game. I think he was respectable for numbers.
I think it was all that they had, right? George Kittle got 15.2 points. He had 92
so that's
yards.
good. That's good. So You know, he kind of held up your flex if he had played Deontay, but like I did. Whoopsie. Tucker plays tomorrow night. He'll probably cook for at least a dozen points against the Buccaneers, you know, because I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think they're going to be both scoring points. So, and then the Bills versus the Titans, I think the Bills literally blew the doors off the Titans, and if you started that defense, you were pleased.
Yeah.
It was a good day.
Yeah, you were definitely happy. If you started the Bills defense, they were playing.
So, like that team, if you started them, they probably, you know, probably top 5 scoring team of the week. Probably not the highest scoring team of the week, but I think half the time you probably got a win if you had that lineup rolling out. Because again, there's a number of injuries and another players that just dudded. So it's still wild. We're 7 weeks into the season, and it's just wild how many injuries are just players that they're underperforming so far into the season.
No, yeah, that's very true. But I mean, there's still some players that are overperforming too. I mean, you start to see like a bunch of breakout players. Kickers are holding it down. I mean,
so going into Monday night games, where do you feel about having 2 games on Monday night? Like,
right?
What do you like? I know I've already done it once or a couple of times this year. Just I'm not really a fan of it. Like, I already had like I don't know. It's just saving 2 games for Monday night. Because the way they schedule it too is they're going on at the same time, so you can't
they're like regional games too.
And you can't like watch one and then watch the other. You have to like simultaneously bounce back and forth, or if you have the capabilities, you have them like side by side. There's 2 screens going on at once. But
yeah, you still can't watch them both at the same time, even with 2 screens.
I don't know. It's kind of bogus. I think they should just go back to one Monday night game a week.
It's like because they added those extra weeks, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to get those extra games in without having to extend it out.
Yeah. Which at that point, it's just like I'd rather have a Saturday night game or like a Friday night game than 2 on Monday.
But they can't compete with college football on Saturday night.
That's true. That's true.
College football is getting big in their own right. You know, they have just as many viewers now. I don't know. But yeah, I would prefer to have it like maybe a Wednesday night or Tuesday night or something. I don't know. That it is kind of hard watching 2 Monday nights. Or do it like early Monday, like do one at like 3 and then the other one at like 7. I think that'd be good.
But yeah, so I'm all for football, no problem with that. It's just I don't know. The Monday nights, it seems kind of just weird. I'd like to be able to watch both games, you know, just kind of like I'd like to be able to like enjoy one and then move on to the other. Like I don't care how late it is, it doesn't matter. I don't. Maybe it's just a personal thing. I don't have the capability of being able to watch it at the same time. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like I probably don't really watch too many Monday night games anyway. So 2 of them, definitely not watching. 1 of them, right?
Yeah,
and it's probably the lesser of the 2. Like the Baltimore Tampa Bay game, that's a Monday night game, right? You know, Arizona and LA, like.
Do we really want to watch? I mean, I shouldn't say that's kind of disrespect, but like, I don't know. I think if it's differently, you'd have like the Chargers Cardinals game first, and then the Ravens and Buccaneers. But I don't know. I'll make the schedule.
But one's on ESPN though, and then one's on ESPN Plus. So
so you have to have both.
Like,
okay.
The Chargers Cardinals game is on ESPN Plus, so you have to pay for that. I think. Well, you get I get ESPN Plus with my Disney bundle.
Yeah, so you got it covered there.
Yeah, but I don't have ESPN, so I'd probably just ESPN Plus, right? Yeah.
Oh, so you're able to. Oh, you're not gonna be able to watch the Buccaneers Ravens game.
Well, I mean, I have YouTube TV, so I can watch it on there. So I can watch it.
Never mind.
Yeah, I can watch it, but maybe sometimes it's regional on there too.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
So of the team, everyone who's played so far this week in games, like what was for the Broncos? Like what performance? Like are you like more? Like who's the biggest threat to the Broncos? Like I suppose it's not a close question, but like the Raiders again playing the Rams, how they did, or like the Chiefs, how they played against the 49ers, or like
the Chiefs look
how
sloppy
like
against the 49ers, right?
Yeah.
Sketch, man.
Like if you're the Broncos, you feel like, wow, okay, so the Raiders got clowned by the Rams, and the Chiefs look a little mortal or not as invincible against the Niners. Like, you think you could take them? Like if you were to play them next week instead of the Panthers,
I mean, I think they can stay in the game with them and keep it close.
Yeah, because like how the Broncos did this against the Saints, and then how the Niners did with the Chiefs. Like, dude, if the Chiefs were to play the Broncos next week, you'd be like, all right, there could be a dub. We could take that.
Yeah, I feel confident saying that, especially if Pat Surtain comes back.
Oh, they don't even have to worry about the passing games. PS2 is just sitting back there like, when y'all gonna get somebody I can cover? Yeah, he's like, I'll just play half the game, and then when we need me, I'll get in there.
Yeah. So and then
Riley Moss has been showing out too. Yeah. I've been impressed with his cornerback play. Like, my goodness,
that's what I was gonna say.
That's quite the tandem back there.
Dang, what's this? Pickens has been saving Russ.
Really?
That was just his comment I just read in one of his chats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel good about the Broncos right now. I feel like players are starting to click. I feel like
Lutz had a redeemable game after that kind of a bummer of a week. He kept him going through the goalposts.
That Chargers game was just a weird game. They were rolling. They needed to slip up. They didn't need to get ahead of themselves too quickly. So
divisional games seem to be like that, though, man. It's like your team just like plays different against the divisional opponents, and then once they get other teams outside of their conference, like you saw with the Broncos, they balled out. But it's like, where was that Broncos team against the Chargers? That would have been nice.
Yeah.
Especially because we know how much divisional games matter and how much they impact the standings.
Especially nowadays with all those extra playoff spots, right? Like it really does come down to divisional games and go out from there. So,
like for me, like the way the Lions clowned the Cowboys last week, and then being able to like hang tough with the undefeated Vikings and like play them the way they did and put up points against that defense, I feel pretty comfortably confident that, going in against Titans at home next week, it's just going to be a business as usual kind of game. I mean, I don't take any team lightly, but like if you're able to put 30 points up against the Cowboys and Vikings back-to-back weeks, I think we could do it against the Titans, I'd hope so.
Right. Yeah.
But for fantasy value, I don't know how, if they, clown another team, like, are they going to, play their players the whole game? You know what I mean? If it's going really good and like, you don't want people getting hurt and such. But
no, yeah. I don't know. Like, and it's hard to like not take games lightly, but you got to kind of expect for your team to win those games too. Like,
I know we touched on it earlier, like going forward rest of the season, like, do you think Nick Chubb can on that offense pop the top 20 running backs, or do you think he's going to be like the full workhorse back, or do you think they're going to sprinkle in the other guys to like keep the workload off of him, or what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, they're going to have to need him to be that in the top 20 running back. I think they're going to go forward with Jameis Winston, it feels like. So we might see a different Browns team.
Okay.
They had that resurgence with Joe Flacco last year, too. They tend to do that. Like, they try to see what they can do with Deshaun, and then, and then they actually play football. So,
like with Deshaun getting hurt, do you think this was his last, like, are they, like, done with him after, like, this? Or, like, if he comes back, they're going to try to keep him going? Or what do you think?
Was that a touchdown to Pickens? Hold on.
No, he didn't. He was bobbling out of
What?
bounds.
That was a nice catch.
It was a nice catch, but they were watching his feet, and apparently he didn't keep him down.
What one? Oh, wait. I think that was a touchdown, man. Okay, but so that's yeah, it was out of bounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Sorry.
I was just saying, do you think it's Deshaun Watson's cooked after this? Like, he got hurt, he's gonna be out for a while. Do you think the Browns go back to him when he comes back, or is it was like
they said,
the last snap we saw with Deshaun and the Browns?
It depends on what's wrong with them. Dang.
It says Achilles.
Depends on. I don't know. I feel like he doesn't even want to play for the Browns.
I don't even think he wants to play football anymore.
Yeah, he's like, I'm good.
He just wants to get rubbed up on.
He made all his money. Just want to go like post up somewhere.
He's a punk.
Silence. So yeah, I don't know. Like,
he's the prime example reason why you don't pay these players so much damn money guaranteed.
Yeah, and everybody else been chasing it ever since. So it's cool that they reset it back down. But yeah, you can't just give him like guaranteed money like that. So he got his money. He's good.
Because like I said, if you getting guaranteed money like that, and like how you're feeling sick, like you really like, I don't know, I'm just gonna take it easy. I'm just gonna get better and recover. I'm not gonna come back and
right.
I got this money. I don't care.
Yeah, you already got paid. Like you're getting paid, and I'm sure they'll find some way to like rework it or get out of. But it'll, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. They went back to him this season after he was hurt. So I think they'll go back to him as long as he's going to play until his contract's up.
So how do you think Drake May did with his game this week against the Jaguars? Do you think he kind of underwhelmed compared to last week, or he's kind of like typical raw rookie? He's kind of showing some flaws, but
yeah, I thought he did decent. He didn't do bad. He had some good plays. He had some good throws.
Now, is this like the real Jacksonville putting up 30 points, or is this just like them beating up on a bad team?
Right, and finally just getting tired of getting beat up on, right? So,
because that's a real thing too. Sometimes people just like they get sick of getting beat up on and losing, that they have one breakthrough game.
Yeah, right, and then they go back. So
they're playing the Packers next week in Jacksonville. So
yeah, who do the Patriots play?
Good question.
I feel good about Drake May though. I feel good about Drake May. I think it was a good pick. It was good for him to set too because he was able to watch and figure some stuff out. And
it looks like they have the Jets next.
See, so that we'll see, right? Because the Jets are supposedly a good defense, so we'll see how it looks and where they stand. That's a divisional game. They're both at the bottom of that division. Well, I guess the Dolphins are down at the bottom now.
Yeah, Dolphins are in this basement. As far as defenses go, though, this week, 7 weeks into the season, what defense has surprised you with their performances up to this point? And which defense has really underwhelmed you or disappointed you up to this point? 7 weeks
Broncos
in.
Defense
For fantasy,
right?
for fantasy too. Like which like for scoring points, keeping points down, turning the ball over, keeping stuff in front of them.
Well, I mean, my Broncos for one.
Absolutely, man. I agree.
Week in, week out. I've been really rocking with them.
Because I don't remember my list, but I know they were really far down, I think, on my list in the preseason rankings of I
don't think they
team
made
defenses.
It on your list. I don't know. I took the list off. I should have kept them on.
Yeah. But I remember I did have them kind of in the teens, high teens, early 20s. And the fact that they're playing a top 5 defense, that's impressive to me. That is quite impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then as far as other defenses, let's see. Yeah, I think the Broncos are actually number 1 defense in fantasy right now.
Damn.
85 points, son.
Yeah. One defense that's underwhelming me or, based off of what they've done in the past and how well they've been, is like the Saints. Like that defense looks old and tired, and they just look like their offense isn't helping them at all. But they're just, I think they were like one of like a top 10 defenses I had ranked, and they're not playing to that level, and it doesn't help when their offense is taking a U-turn on them.
Well, I mean, they're actually number 7 defense.
Oh, really?
In fantasy. Oh, according to Sleeper, yeah, right now.
Oh, weird.
Points,
like, the first 2 weeks they looked hot, but then
that's why, they got all those points in the first few weeks. So they got 3 points obviously against the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
And they had 10, 5, 5, 13, 9, 15. So they weren't even like super, super heavy on points. They just had a couple weeks with double digits in points. But they had a lot more below 6-point games too. So they are definitely underwhelming for sure. I'd say one. I mean, the Eagles.
Yeah.
We expected them to be right up there. I mean, they look good against the Jets or the Giants today.
Oh,
another interception.
Yeah.
The Steelers defense, man, let me tell you, they've been surprising.
They've been balling out. They've been bailing out this offense. But Davante Adams came back and tackled that dude to save a touchdown. That's impressive. Yeah, man. JMO's disappeared in this offense these last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it's been the Sonic and Knuckles show, man. Like JMO and
happen, right?
It could. It was very much possible because the Lions' identity is to run the football. That is what they want to do.
Yeah,
they're not going to put
number 1.
Yeah, Goff is doing just enough to be efficient and effective. He's not playing like hero ball. He's not putting up astronomical numbers. He's just putting up decent, efficient numbers. And it looks like Laporta and JMO are just week to week, like who's going to pop, who's not. And right now they're not because Sonic and Knuckles are just running this thing all over the place.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't expect for all of them to go off.
It's just disappointing because he really popped off early on in the season, and you're like, oh, yeah, he's finally breaking out. He's doing this thing. But then lately, he's just, I don't know if it's a thing where, like, he's just not fitting the playbook right now, what Ben Johnson's calling, but he's still got the talent. He's still got the ability, and I hope it's not the case, but right now he's coming off as like one of those players where it's like you either start him every week and you ride the wave of having a good game, or you endure the sub 5-point games. It's just how much of a luxury you have in your lineups, whether you're willing to do that from week to week, because he has that ability to pop off for 20, 30 points, but he's shown in these last 2 weeks he also is very capable of disappearing and becoming a liability in your lineups. It's like a lottery ticket.
Yeah. Well, I mean, somebody had to lose out, right? And it's not going to be the top guys, so not everybody can eat every week.
Yeah.
I mean,
going to this game, like I think Garrett Wilson's doing pretty well. The fact that Davante Adams is down, like Rodgers is still looking his way. He's getting catches, and he's being targeted more. So that's promising. He hasn't gone completely away.
Yeah, let me see what's. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Garrett Wilson leads the team. He has 4 receptions. They both have 7 targets. He has 4 more yards and a 2-point conversion. So he has a little bit more points than Davante right now, which, I feel like the hype, you expected Davante to be getting all the targets, right? I guess.
Yeah.
So that's promising. That's good to see. But, I mean, neither one of them are really going off. He's still kind of disappointed with the both of them right now.
Yeah.
What is this like?
They're not saving your team in your matchups right now, I don't think.
No, George Pickens sitting over there with 21 points.
Damn.
You're like, whoa, wait.
He's like, Russell Wilson's my quarterback. Thank you.
Yeah, he's gonna advocate for Russell Wilson for sure. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with that, and then they're gonna, come back and win, or they already come back at 16 and 15. So Tom was like, "Yeah, see, I told you so. Just rock it."
You think he's gonna say that post game? I told you so.
Nah, we'll see. We'll see. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about? Wrap it up.
Not really. I think we did really good, rounded it out. I mean, missing Grayson this week.
Right.
Johnny hit a job early. So I think we covered a lot. Not much activity in the chat. But we thank everybody who's commented, put in their questions and everything. Appreciate it. Thank you. And yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything we needed to tonight. Yeah. I'm ready to let you get some rest, recover, so you're ready to go for Monday and feeling better for Tuesday.
Yeah, man. Well, how are you looking? How are you feeling about these Monday night games? Like, who do you got?
I'm hoping it's the Ravens tomorrow night. But I hope it's a Lamar game and not a Derrick Henry game, because I'm going up against Henry in some of my matchups. So I'm kind of fearful for that. But I hope it's a high-scoring, good game for that first one. Yeah. And it's close. I hope it's not a blowout either way, which I don't think it will be. I just, hope there's, a lot of offense, pretty good plays on defense all around.
Yeah.
I think I'll take the Ravens like 28-24, maybe. Something like that. And then for the Cardinals-Chargers game, I hope it's not boring. I hope it's more than just running the ball until the clock runs out. I feel like that's how the Chargers want to win. They just want to run the ball and, just control the clock and not have Herbert, moonballing it and throwing it to all of his wide receivers.
Yeah.
And then for the Cardinals, I don't know, man. Like, Kyler needs to figure it out. Put down the Call of Duty and start picking up the playbook and figuring out how to get his team scoring points again. So, and I think, for your guys' sake, I hope the Cardinals win somehow. But I feel like if the Chargers get a lead, they're just going to run the ball and run it out. And like Shawnee was saying, like, Dobbins is going to have a big game, getting like 20, 25 carries. Or, I don't see Herbert throwing the ball more than 20 times or getting multiple touchdowns. But hopefully it's a Cardinals win, so that gives the Broncos a little bit more of like an edge of like, aha, so we're not that far apart in the standings, Chargers.
Right. Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully it's not a boring game, like you said. Like, oh, who's on the stretcher?
One of the linemen for the Jets, it looks like.
Oh, wow. Dang.
And so George, thank you for your questions. We appreciate it. To answer it, I think he asked, should I sell high-end Brian Thomas? I'm worried about his matchups. Maybe try to get Neighbors. Yeah, if you can pull that off and redraft, definitely try to swing Brian Thomas's big games for Malik Neighbors. I know Malik had an off game coming back from his concussions. Maybe the value can balance out, and you can move him for that. I mean, in a dynasty, obviously try to go for it. Try to get Neighbors. Take advantage of it. If you're a bigger believer in Neighbors than you are Thomas, try to make that move. Try to get that deal done so you get the players you want and of higher value. I don't know where you sit on it, said if you think Neighbors is higher than Brian Thomas, or if you should take advantage of Thomas's big games so far, because he is playing the Packers next week. I don't know who he plays after that. I mean, there's tough defenses he's got on the schedule.
Well, he is clicking right now with Trevor Lawrence. But, I mean, they're hand in hand. Either one. I don't know. Either one. I think you wouldn't be doing bad with either one of those guys, like in your flex, for sure.
Yeah. So, like, if you want to, go for it, but you don't necessarily need to, because
they're like the same.
Yeah.
Plus, like, Neighbors has Danny Dimes throwing to him. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is a little. Well, they're like the same, actually. It's different.
Well, we saw that stat a couple weeks ago. Danny Dimes and Trevor Lawrence side by side.
Yeah, like same stats, the same stats. So, and then shout out to you guys on Instagram too for watching.
Hell yeah! Thank you guys.
Soul Rain, Jay, Lindsay, all you guys tuning in. Thank you. Head on over. I know you all the homies, but head over to Shady Sports Network. We got more stuff too. And other sports as well. We got like 2 other fantasy football shows, probably a few other more. A few other leagues that we cover, all types of stuff, man. So you guys don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that share button, that subscribe button. It really does help. And then, send us, your questions, your comments, like Justin was saying, and then, you can find me at 303 Bandwagon. You can find Justin on Sleeper on Twitch now. He's running the Twitch for us. Find us on Instagram, all over the place. But most of all, just reach out. You know what I mean? Like, just reach out, even if it's just to say what's up. So, yeah, George, thank you for shouting out. Thank you for tuning in and engaging.
Absolutely.
It's always a pleasure, right? And it's much more fun when you guys are jumping in and shouting out and timing out with your teams, right? So that's what keeps it going, because we all have like the same players, right? It's just how we're using them. Every outlook is really, really helpful to moving forward. So guys, keep tuning in. Like I said at the bottom, trying to get 100. We're trying to get 100 subscribers in here, or 100 live viewers in here by the end of the season. I want the comment boards.
We can do it. Let's do it together.
Yeah, I want to just be checking questions and teams the whole time while these guys are just talking sports. So let's keep growing. Help us keep growing, guys, and keep tuning in. Like we said, we can't do this without you guys watching. There wouldn't be the point of it. So keep tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and please share.
And check Sid out in his other show on the pregames on Sunday with his other dudes. Check him out there.
There's some good information on there. It's a pretty good show. We just go over all the games. We highlight a few, and then we just give you our predictions. So it's a good little preview show to build up for your game.
If you're so inclined to be up that early in the morning, guys.
it's 9 a.m. Mountain time. So
okay. Oh, so it's not that early.
Not too bad, yeah. So it's 9 a.m. Mountain time. We try to do it before the early game. So
okay.
It's cool. It's fun. So, guys, stick with us. Keep growing with us. Bring us your ideas. Bring us your teams. We'd love to hear that. And if you want to come join us, let us know. We'd love to bring you on the show too. It's all love around here, and we're just trying to grow and keep this thing going and win these leagues, right? So,
hell yeah.
With that, you got anything else, Justin? Is there anything you wanted to touch on?
No, that's good. That's looking forward to, seeing more of you guys popping in here and hanging out with us and enjoying it and sharing this experience that we give to you every Sunday and Tuesday night. So
Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Tuesday nights at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So around the same time frame on both nights, but we're here live on both nights for sure. So always look out to come join us live if you want, and then if not, you can catch us on the YouTube channels for the playbacks on the playlist Shady Sports Fantasy Football Report. So we have all of our episodes on there going back to 2 years ago. So we're just here just trying to bring you the news. So let's keep it going, guys. I don't know with that. I mean, I guess just say good night.
Have a good night. Get better, and hope you win all your matchups, and the Monday Miracle works out for you.
There we go. You heard it here, guys. Catch us Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.